Everybody's headed to Phoenix, the Phoenix Metro. Our local demographer, Joe Huizinga, has determined that Houston, which is growing slightly larger than Phoenix, is already larger than Phoenix. Phoenix, the fifth largest city. It is behind only New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston. We are ahead of Philadelphia, which is actually losing some population right now, if I recall my numbers correctly. But I have to tell you this. I don't see it always as such a good thing that we are gaining a population. And I don't want to be one of these brigadooners who are saying, no one can come in here that isn't from here.
Hold on, let's...
I knew you couldn't let that
Brigadooner.
go. Brigadoon.
You do know I'm on Mucinex, I'm on cold pills, I'm on all sorts... Brigadooner?
So accept it and just move on. That's fine.
4 syllables?
Brigadoon.
Give me a 1-syllable brigadooner.
Okay.
That'd be what?
So... it means, I was trying to explain this, you got hung up on it.
Yeah.
It means, I don't want anyone coming here that isn't from here.
Oh,
exactly. There
got
you
it.
go. Right. So, why is it such a bad thing? Now, here is my concern.
Mm-hmm.
I've moved in radio. You move to a number of different places, right? So I've done that, and in some places you have locals that say, "You're not from here. You don't understand.
You're an out-of-towner."
Right. I think different perspectives and growth in a community is very good. I generally think it's good, but it is problematic for Phoenix right now.
Why is that?
It comes down to growing pains. And the big one, of course, is cost. We are at a time right now where the cost of everything is so dadgum high. And now we've got more people coming here than we can accommodate. We just don't have the available housing. And the housing that is available then as people are coming here is driving up cost. In fact, the home prices in large part can be attributed to people moving to Phoenix.
Even cities that aren't seeing the giant jumps are still higher. The biggest driver right now is a housing shortage, a major shortage, somewhere between 4 and 7 million. Too few homes, especially starter homes for first-time buyers. That's exacerbated by the fact that most current homeowners have 30-year fixed-rate mortgages between 3 and 5%. Mortgage rates right now, over 7%, just doesn't make sense to sell.
A starter home, by the way, is defined as something that is 25% below the median home value in a market. So right now, our median home value, I'm going to make easy numbers, Joe, because I know you're on the Mucinex.
Mm-hmm.
Easy numbers. Median home value, $400,000. Means a starter home is $300,000 or below.
You've got a bit of a commute if you're living in a house
$300,000
or a really dilapidated house.
Because $300,000, listen, 10 years ago, I bought a pretty nice place for $300,000.
Same here.
I just checked Zillow. It is now valued at $741,000.
Yeah, the place I'm in was just under $300K and it is pretty much what you would consider.
Yeah, you got a nice place.
Yeah, but it's median. It's about going for, $450, a little bit more than that. But it's not like I've seen a crazy jump in my cost. It's keeping up with the market.
And your home, I would say that was your first home, right? That was your starter home.
My first house.
And now your first house is not even considered a starter home. It's too expensive for that. It's valued too high for that.
It's a little more than what the starter home price is, but not a ton.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the home itself is what I would have thought of for being a starter home. You're in a decent neighborhood. You got room for a couple of kids. You got a little bit of a yard. It's nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But no, you can't do that anymore. And part of that is because... obviously, we've got the inflation happening, which means that we're using interest rates to try to offset inflation and try to keep inflation under control. That's driving up the cost of borrowing money. And at the same time, we're seeing home values increasing because we have so many more people coming to town. I will say this, too. There are some other growing pains that make this very concerning to me. Also, along the lines of not being ready for it, we just don't have the infrastructure. The infrastructure can't keep up with the growth right now. We're trying. I mean, we built the 202 out, right? That finally connects around. The Broadway curve is under construction.
How's that great light rail doing that we're working on?
Don't get me started on the light rail. It's not great. Broadway curve, I got stuck going the wrong way on that this weekend. That was a real mess. So we're going through some of those growing pains, and it's happening. But I was out to western New Mexico this weekend.
Where is western New Mexico?
It's Queen Creek.
Oh.
And when I was out there, I was thinking, man, just 10 years ago, you could get down Ellsworth Road, right? You could get down on that side off of 60. You just can't move anywhere anymore. They put a Costco in, traffic backs up for a mile. You can't get by it. They extended 24 past Ellsworth and then out towards Santan, and we've already outgrown it.
That was a long drive for you, too. Over the weekend, I was down in Tempe, and I saw a buddy down there, and he asked me, he's like, is this a long drive for you? Because I'm up just off the 51 at Thunderbird.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I was like, I've been down to Queen Creek, but it's not every day. Like, if I drive to Tempe, that's 25, 30 minutes.
Sure.
And to go to Queen Creek, that's more like an hour or more. So,
if you go the wrong way coming back, it's an hour 40.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I can just tell
Who
you
knew?
that. Yeah, well, all the signs that told me to get off the 60 and don't try to go west on 10.
Know?
Yeah, I screwed that up bad. Our education in Arizona is haphazard right now. We really are having some educational funding issues.
You mean like a Tom Horn thing?
Part of it, I mean, if you wanted to blame Tom Horn, you could. Some people will. But the ESAs right now, I think, are creating a bit of a budget strife. And Horn's going to tell you, no, they're not. They're great. But the ESAs are sending money. I predicted this years ago when they introduced it under Ducey. I said, look, if you're taking money away from the public schools, that means kids are going to stop going to the public schools. They're going to go to the private schools, which I get. That's what you want to do. The problem, however, is that it doesn't, just because you have a child leave doesn't mean that the cost of running that school is less.
In general,
you're
it's
still
the
running
same.
the air conditioner for the same number of rooms. You've still got the same number of floors to sweep, the same number of trash cans to empty, all that stuff.
Lights are still on.
That's right. That cost doesn't really change. And so as you're taking money away from the public schools, some of it's going to the private schools. We have some great schools if your kid is smart enough to get in. If you can get into the bases, which can pick and choose, and then it looks like our schools are doing great. But the public school system right now is facing some real challenges. I would also say this, water. We ain't got none. We're seeing Phoenix grow. We are seeing a ton of people come here, and I don't know what you're drinking.
No, coming back from break, Pablo just played Buckeye. I know, well, I don't know what that song is called, but it said the word Buckeye a bunch in it.
Going out to Buckeye.
But I know that Buckeye certainly has its water challenges, that they've said, like, hey, we cannot build here. We do not have the water to support more people.
Right.
So when we need X number more houses, what the heck do you do in terms of building them if we don't have the water for it?
So why is it a bad thing that so many people continue to come to Phoenix for the reasons I just laid out? I want to ask you this, though, and Joe, I'll let you be the first to answer the question when we come back here. We'll open up the phone, 602-277-KTAR, 602-277-KTAR. Are you excited to see the Phoenix Metro continue to grow in popularity? There may be reason to be excited. I'm not going to dog you for thinking it's a great thing. Again, everything I laid out are growing pains.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe, and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.